Hi, welcome. This video is all about the Euybike K6 Pro long-range fat tire electric bike. This badass looking e-bike comes in three colors that I really like: dark gray, camo green, and the one I'll be riding, camo gold. This is a fast e-bike. I got it just past 30 miles an hour. It has an 8-speed gear shift system, 1000 watt motor, and an estimated range of up to 80 miles. I've never seen an e-bike that folds like this one. So next up, I'm going to unbox it, assemble what needs assembly, and there really isn't much, and then the rest of the video I'm gonna take it for a test ride. The manual wants me to start with the handlebars, so let's do that. I have to remove these 4 screws here, put the handlebars in that spot, and screw this piece back down. And the way I tighten these down is diagonally, just a little bit at a time. And I don't need the handlebars perfect yet, because I can always adjust them later. The fender is next. So there's a screw here that I'm gonna remove. And I've never seen this style before. These are usually just on one side, but this will go on both sides of this piece. Although I don't really know where I want the fender positioned yet. It's kind of hard to tell until I put the tire on. So maybe I should move it up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Next is the front wheel, but this has to come out. This part's a lot easier to do with a second person, but I'm gonna try to do it myself. It usually works out. First, I'm gonna loosen up these nuts, slide the washers over, and using the strength of 1 peanut, I will attempt to install the wheel. I'd like to say that was successful, but the washers moved on me. Maybe it'll be easier with those 2 gone. Easy peasy. Now I'm gonna put the washer back, the nut back. I ended up taking them off on both sides. So much easier with them off. The most important part of the wheel installation is tightening it down. Like, really tighten it down. Oh, and there are covers for this, but I never really have much luck with these things. Oh, those actually went on. Next, giant headlights. So I'm going to position it right there somewhere. Normally these are already on here, but this time you get to install them yourself. They probably did that so it wouldn't get damaged in shipping. So this part goes into that, but up here, not here, up here. There's 2 different sides of screw, so I'm going to use the smaller one but longer to go through this part, which I think I need to position further down. A horrible tool for a job like this. I'm gonna go get a real wrench and a screwdriver is not screwdriving. I try to use the tools included just to see if I can assemble the bike with those, but this time, no, not so much. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this light in now. That side facing up. I'm gonna plop this in here and screw it down. Boy, that is a big headlight. I love it. The people on my bike trail might not love it so much. I've had some complaints with these giant headlights that they're blinding. Good, that means they're doing their job. And lastly, the seat. Well, sort of lastly. One of the pedals was on, the other was not, so I'm just gonna twist that on there and then pump the tires full, charge up the battery, and I'll see you for the ride. Oh yeah, the pedals, they're the folding kind. Might be easier to show it before I install it. So you push and fold. And it may not look like it, but the bike folds. There's this screw here, so I'm gonna unscrew it. I think from this side you'll be able to see this better. So I'm gonna fold up the pedals. Oh yeah, the kickstand as well. I'm gonna grab the handlebars with my left hand, seat rack with my right, and fold the bike. And then to make it smaller, I could unscrew the handlebars, but that's kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see if I can unfold it. Yep. You don't need a key to start the bike. You only need the key to remove the battery. And the only way to remove it is to fold the bike. To turn on the bike, you just hold down this little button right here, and that's it. To turn it off, same thing, hold down the button. Then you can use the plus and minus buttons to adjust the pedal assist. It goes from 0 to 5. 0, it's just a bike, no assistance from the motor, and then 1 to 5, you get assistance. It has a separate switch for the light, which is nice because that's not always the case. And the I button just shows you various information on the bottom of the screen. And this button over here is for the horn. From a dead stop, I'm gonna put it on pedal assist 1 and pedal. This is on the hardest gear to pedal in. Let's see how fast I can get it to go. Quite a lot of resistance. It's just a little bit of assistance from the motor. Pedal assist 2, woo! It really goes forward. Pedal assist 3. 4, 5. It's got a motorcycle style throttle, so you just turn that and the bike goes forward. I'm gonna put it back to pedal assist 1 and go through all 5 modes. No pedaling, throttle only. So that caps out at like 9.5. Pedal assist 2. 16. Pedal assist 3. 20. 4. And 5. In the center of the rear wheel is the motor. It's 1000 watts. It's a high-speed brushless motor, 96 Newton meter max motor torque. Let's stop right there. The seat, it's so comfy. It's like perfect butt shape. I love it. But I just started my ride. I only have a couple miles on the bike so far, but yes. On flat paved ground, pedal assist 2, highest gear, hardest gear to have to pedal in. I don't feel much of a workout. Most e-bikes I show have a Shimano 7-speed gear shift system. This has 8. Now let's try the same thing, but off-road. Still not feeling a workout. There's a little bit of a hill in front of me. The one I just went down. I'm gonna keep pedaling on pedal assist 2 and go up this hill. That was a breeze. And speaking of hills, here's the one I'm always at. Or bridge, more accurate. So what I'm gonna do is put on pedal assist 1, start from a dead stop, and see if I can pedal up. Nope, the motor did not kick in. So I do need a running start. Let's see how much of a running start. I'm gonna put it back on 1 and count my pedals. I'm at half. 1 turn. Nope. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throttle. Full electric mode. Up this, pedal assist 1. See, it does that, no problem. Maybe this will be enough. Half a turn. 1 turn, and there it goes. I almost crashed. It's like 1.5 turns before the motor kicks in. I'm gonna try that again on pedal assist too. So half a turn, 1 turn. Yup, it's almost 1.5 turns. And now I'm gonna test the brakes. And the reason the brakes are so awesome is because these are hydraulic disc brakes. They use fluid to transfer force versus mechanical disc brakes, which use a cable. Mechanical brakes are cheaper and easier to maintain, but they're just not as powerful as hydraulic disc brakes. I'm having a hard time filming the ride with one hand, and I know I should be using mounts for the camera, and I've gone through 3 different ones and they're terrible. It was just a waste of money. No matter what I try, the camera just keeps dropping. So here we are, back to using my hand, and because the motor jerks forward so much, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my balance if I keep filming with just one hand. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get as good of angles as I normally do. Maybe not off-road, but let me try some paved road instead. Well, it initially jerks. Once you have it above the speed for that pedal assist and you keep it steady at that speed, it doesn't jerk anymore. After that, it is a smooth ride. The estimated, don't count for me on this, the estimated max range is up to 80 miles. But that depends on the kind of terrain you're riding on. If it's flat, paved, smooth ground, you may get up to 80, but it does depend on how you're using the bike, like how much power you're drawing from the battery. So on pedal assist 1, and also if you don't weigh like 400 pounds, you might be able to get up to 80. The bike can hold up to 400 pounds though, which is actually pretty impressive because a lot of them cannot hold that much, which is nice. So if you're using full electric mode, let's say mode 5 or pedal assist 5, and you're just holding down that throttle and just sitting there like a big old lump, then you're probably gonna get about half that. So up to 40 miles. I do not test these bikes fully. I have so many bikes to film that it just wouldn't be feasible. I'm sorry, it's just a test ride. This is not like a full-blown review where I drain the battery. It's just, I unbox it, I show you how to assemble it, and then I take it for a ride. Yeah, I do go based off what the manufacturer says for the range. They're saying it can last 50 to 55 miles when fully charged, 80 to 88 miles in pedal assist mode, as in pedal assist 1. I'm having a hard time finding something I don't like about it. Well, the screen, it's not color. It's really simple to use though. Very, very basic. It folds really nicely. I usually struggle folding these bikes, and although it's still big and heavy, the bike weighs 81 pounds with everything, I really didn't struggle as much as I normally do. I found it much easier than other types of folding bikes. Fat tire folding bikes. I love the seat. And what's nice about it is the back of my butt, oh, it's in heaven. But the part that sticks out, you know, that little, I don't know what it's called, the thinner part of the seat, it's thin enough where if I want to pedal, it doesn't rub my legs the wrong way, because sometimes when the seat is like too thick right there, pedaling just doesn't feel very good. I love the digital camo. Absolutely love it. And the tires. I like how they're not all black and they got this tan line right here. That's hot. Oh wait, there is one complaint. This. I do not know how to get it to stop flashing. I don't see any buttons or, oh wait, that's right there. Do you see it? So if I click it, it flashes. Click it again, solid light, and off. There's a massive light in the front, which I love. The bigger the better. At the very back, there's just a reflector, but built into the seat is the rear light. The frame is a magnesium alloy frame, and total weight is 81 pounds, and that is with the battery. Without the battery, it's 71.2 pounds. The tires are 20 inches in diameter and 4 inches wide. There's a shock absorber on the back, And in the front, there's a lockable hydraulic shock absorber. This is adjustable. You just turn this little wheel knobby thing and you can have a more bouncy ride by leaving it completely open, or you can lock it for a rigid ride. This e-bike is for people on a slightly taller range. The recommended height is between 5'7" to 6'5". For reference, I am 5'8", and it definitely didn't feel too big on me. It actually felt just right. Overall, I'm very pleased with this e-bike. It was a very comfortable ride. The seat, one of the best I've come across so far. There wasn't much for assembly, and it was easy to use after it was assembled. Aside from its badass look and that folding mechanism, which I've never seen before, it's really unique. I absolutely love it. The tires. I really like the look of the tires. I love fat tires, but these aren't all black. They have that brown or tan trim around them. You can get it like that, or with the other colors, they look slightly different. I think one is like solid black, and then the other one has this white stripe that goes around it. Let's see how bad my helmet head is by now. That's nice. Yeah, it's like 80 degrees out here, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt just so I can match the bike. How stupid is that? Anyways, if you like the bike, I'll have a link down below in the video's description, and if there's any coupon codes, they'll be down there as well. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, but that's it. So it's cheesy outro time. Toodaloo-dee-loo.